Okay, I'm recording. Hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we will discuss a movie about James Bond. And I have to sing something. You live only twice. It was funny in the beginning. So yeah. Leila, what were the main characters of the movie? Can you name some?
Of course. So Sean Connery, so and 000, what's 007?
Yep. 007.
Agent 007, right? The agent, and he's handsome, and he is really good at his job. I think he's the main character.
Yep, exactly. What was his boss name?
Oh, Ivan, you're asking me such difficult question.
Okay, you can always say help of the Sergey if you want.
Sergey, help me, please, my dear friend.
Mr. M.
Mrs. M, I guess, or Miss M. What is correct?
Well, originally M was a man, but later it became a woman. Daniel Craig, it became a woman. Yeah.
So in 1967, it probably was a man, right?
It was a man, yeah.
Okay. So I missed this. Okay, there was another Asian lady from Hong Kong. She's his assistant or something. Sergey, what was her name?
Aki,
yeah. I'm looking for casting because I forgot cast. Okay, Leila, let's start from the story. Tell us what happened at the beginning.
The film starts, and you can see the space, and you can see a kind of space capsule, and then I can see 2 or 3 men, and one of them just tries to get out of the capsule, and I think either he's going to do some spacewalk or going to leave the space, a kind of satellite, I'm not sure. Meanwhile, there is a spacecraft approaching, and in the front of the spacecraft, it was a kind of, how can I say, steel mouth, something like that. And it opened and swallowed the capsule. And meanwhile, the astronaut who went out of the capsule was attached to the capsule through a rope, and it was cut. I think he got lost as well.
When we how we call the bird's mouth?
Beak.
Well, I think this spacecraft, he was like a bird to me.
You know, it reminded me of a shark.
Of a shark, yeah, could be. So actually, it's this thing. It kidnapped the whole station. Yeah.
Lee, could we say it's a kind of space hijacking?
Yep, that's exactly what it was. They hijacked a capsule in space by capturing it and carrying it away somewhere.
Okay.
Bizarre, huh? Bizarre.
Yeah, and it was American spacecraft, right? At the beginning. Yeah. And it provoked the kind of political, unstable situation again. So who did it, Sergey? Russians again.
Russians. Repeat please your questions, Ivan.
Who steals this spacecraft?
It is a special organization of terrorists called Spectre, and the head of Spectre looks like Dr. Devil from the Goldfinger.
Yeah, but do you remember this UN session or something when they discussed the situation? So they said Russians did it, no, someone else.
But 60s of 20th century, the period of Cold War between east of west, and I think that it's obvious thoughts about Soviet Union attacks and about US attacks when starships eaten Russian rockets, but it's obviously, and they wanted to create the natural war between USA and USSR. It's not surprise.
Yeah, the blaming is not surprise. We consider each other in everything bad what happened. Teacher Lee?
Back in that time, the US and the USSR were the only space powers. So it was natural for the US to blame the USSR. But Britain had a monitoring base somewhere in Asia. And their data showed that that mysterious ship came from Japan. So the US and Russia were, and USSR were doing this, but Britain was investigating Japan. So they had an agent in Japan, an older man, that had some data about Japan and that mysterious launch that they had detected. So the British were looking toward Japan as an origin of the mysterious ship. But Russia, I mean, the US was looking at the USSR, and they were saying, if you do it one more time, it's going to be war. So the British were hurrying to try to find evidence to stop World War III.
Yeah, I remember there was some deadline. They said we launch a new rocket in 10 or 20 days or something. So there was a hard deadline. Okay, so and there's a job for James Bond started, right? He had to research, he had to investigate, he had to prevent all the situation. And where he was at that moment, Sergey?
James Bond has a lot of enemies, and the Britain Secret Service faked his deaths, and they have a they have a ships, and they organized the ceremony of
funeral, right? Funeral ceremony.
Funeral, and it looks like very natural, and suddenly some people inside the water open the
Divers,
special
right?
costume and rescued the James Bond, and James Bond changed his name, and he flew to Japan for investigation this problem. And after that, he met Aki, and they went to American person who lives in Japan, but this person have been killed, something, I don't know, by
Stabbed.
Yeah,
This is a good word for this, right? When you kill someone with a knife by, like, you know, poking a knife in someone back, it's a stabbing. Yeah. So I like how Sean Connery, James Bond, was, you know, always positive, you know, being extracted from the water. He said, "May I come to the board?" or something like this. Permission granted, you can. So,
Yeah, well, that's Navy. He was an ex-Navy officer.
yeah.
So we always ask permission to come aboard. Permission granted.
Yeah, and I remember the newspaper when he was in a uniform, naval uniform, and it says another commander of U.S. Navy or UK Navy was killed or something.
Yeah, sometimes they call him Commander Bond in a couple of the movies. They use his old Navy title.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So this has been planned for James Bond to avoid being followed, right?
Correct. He didn't want his enemies to keep trying to kill him while he's on this new mission. So they faked his death so his enemies would forget about him, so he could work without looking behind him.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, I have a question for you. You know, so this death was fake, not real, right? It was
Yes.
like all staged, all fabricated, not real. So why they had to cut the massage in the middle? You know, why they could not wait for the end of it?
I didn't watch that.
Lady, the agent, she was giving a massage to Commander Bond when he got this, you know, this killing.
Oh.
Okay, you tell me, Ivan. I'm listening to you.
And later they kind of played this line again. She said, you know, he said, it was the best massage I had was in Hong Kong, but it was interrupted by my death or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a strange line, yeah. So I mean, you know, they tried to make this killing very natural. So there was a real police and like real wounds, I guess, real blood or something. So they faked it like for real to make people believe. So it's a new life. He started a new life. Actually, it's a reference to the title of the movie. You only live twice. Vasant, are you here? Your camera is.
Yes, I'm here.
So could you please continue with the story?
Yes, and where we stopped after his funeral.
We stopped when he arrived to Japan and got his contact killed. This man was stabbed by the knife by ninja, I guess.
Yes, and she was there was a lady. She helped him to reach the building, I think. No, he followed the same traces to reach the building where he killed a guy, right? A bunch henchman who helped to murder his ally. A previous day, he killed that man, and the next day he went there, but there was no sign of the murder. And he also theft. How to say that? He stole something from the wallet, I think, and he gave it to another person, and that's where a lady who helped him.
Do you remember this episode with famous Japanese wrestling, sumo?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes.
Well, do you enjoy watching sumo?
No.
Men in diapers.
I don't like Turkish wrestling either. You know.
Sergey, what about you? I know you are a fan of sumo, right?
Not. I'm not a fan of sumo, but I respect them because it's not simply.
It's not easy, yeah, exactly. But
What's the goal of sumo wrestling? How do you win?
Put your rivals back on the floor.
there is a circle. You have to like push another man out of the circle. Yeah.
That's it. You just push a fat guy out of the circle. You win.
How someone can push such a big man?
You have to be another big man. Otherwise, otherwise you don't have chances to do this.
I think, but it looks like the big show because the Japanese like a ceremony before the fighting, and the winner of championship between sumo fighters called Yakazuna or Yakazuma.
Special title, yeah, for him. Yeah, looks like really Japanese people like these fighters, so this kind of activity, and the man who is the best in this, he's a hero, national hero. I never understood it, but okay, you know, it's another culture. It could be.
Yeah.
It's actually an interesting question how we see Japan from different perspectives. So we will share this later maybe. Okay, so he meet a lady, another contact. She bring him to Tiger, right? Another, who was Tiger, Sergey? Is she an agent of someone or Japan guy?
I didn't understand who's Tiger, but I think that's maybe this person from the Japanese Secret Service who work and who collaborate with Britain Secret Service, maybe.
Yeah, exactly my thought. He looks like a man in charge of some big department in Secret
The
Service.
person is the head of ninja army.
Ninja. And he has own train, Leila. Can you imagine? He said, "I never go by streets in Tokyo. You know, I never go. I use my train for that.
Thank you, Ivan.
In
Oh,
some
no.
ways. Would you like to have a own train, you know, to move in metro?
Thank you, Ivan. No.
No. It sounds really funny, yeah. And
Yeah.
he asked it, I guess your boss, Mr. M, has the same in London. Okay, so they met, they found some evidence, some photo of a ship, and Mr. Bond was the only one bright mind, you know, with mind, who read the title of the ship, and after that they started investigation. What was preventing them before? I don't understand why they did not investigate it before. I don't know. So they found the ship. What happened after, Sergey? Do you remember?
After that, they created special helicopters, but it's funny helicopters, and they went to find the.
I'm sorry, may I interrupt you? I guess we skipped some line. So, do you remember Bond? He was pretending he's an entrepreneur. He is a businessman. He went to some corporation, Osaka, or something like this.
Yes, I remember this this scene, but I didn't understand what is the scene. But he met the man who helped us of Doctor's Devil in this movie, Mr. Osaka, I don't know, and he didn't have the connect, and Mr. Osaka hate James Bond, and he asked to some people, please kill him, and the women who I don't know who.
A woman, his assistants.
His assistants started to kill him, but before the killing, they have a sex, obviously, with because he is a James Bond, but it's a good chance for collaboration. After that, they started to fly on the ship, on the
small jet.
Airplanes, and women catapulted from this fly, and James Bond has been fixed in this fly, but because he was a James Bond, he stolen all, and he land off this land off this.
I guess it's land on.
Land in.
Land in the airplane, and after that, Dr. Devils killed the woman with the woman
as assistant,
trying to the small lake with fish.
I guess this lady was Miss Money-Penny. Money-Penny. Usually, am I right?
No, that's James Bond's secretary. That's M's secretary.
Ah, okay. So there is another one, Helga Brandt. It was her.
Yeah, I think she's the one that maybe died. I can't remember. Yeah.
So yes, I understand why Sergey said it's kind of complicated to understand or something, but I guess it's just, you know, just simple story. So Bond went there pretending he is not a spy, pretending he is just a businessman, but they understood who he is. Teacher Lee, can you help us?
I can't remember all of it. It's been a long time since I saw the movie, but the photograph of that ship is very important. As we've mentioned before, ships have a water line, a horizontal line on the hull. And the reason they do that is you can look at a ship, and if it's sinking low in the water, that water line is at the water. If the ship is unloaded, the ship goes up, and that water line is above the water. So they found a photo of this big oil tanker, and it was, the water line was down low, so it was heavily loaded with oil. And then later they had another picture of it where it was floating up high as if it had been unloaded. So they said somewhere this ship unloaded a lot of oil, and it might have been rocket fuel. So that made them suspect that this ship had somehow secretly refueled a rocket ship launching base. And the ship was registered to Osaka Corporation. So he pretended to be a businessman to go into Osaka Corporation to meet the boss, to try to find out some information about Osaka and if it was somehow connected to Spectre. And I forget exactly what happened, but they knew he was a bad guy. They had that X-ray machine, right? They saw he had the Walther PPK, and they said, only one British agent carries this gun, James Bond. So they knew he was an agent, so that's why they tried to kill him.
Yeah, and lady, this Aki tried to save him, but finally he got captured, and all this story with woman with Helga Brandt started. So Leila, she almost killed him, you know, but fell in love in last second and let him go. So
Of course, this is normal. If you fall in love with somebody, you can let him go.
But the only problem is that she let him go in a crashing airplane, you know. But but anyway, Bond survived. Okay,
Thank you, Ivan. Why didn't you tell this before?
I don't know. Okay, so he survived and he got his new helicopter. Sergey, could you describe a bit this helicopter? Why it was so special?
The helicopter was being created from the aluminum pipes, and the parts of helicopters have been delivered from England in the special case. And if you see this case, you don't know what is this helicopter, because it's impossible. But they have created the small helicopters, and they put some arms, flamethrower, machine guns, and rockets, and etc. and etc. But it looks like funny, because I can't imagine where is the arms, because it's a small helicopters, but rockets and machine guns. It's funny.
Yeah.
I watched that part, and I love the red rockets on the left and on the right. It was like a toy.
Yeah. Some interesting moment on the helmet of James Bond. We can see the action cameras.
Yeah, for what? I don't understand.
For checking the place, I think.
I guess
he was surveilling the surrounding area to see where that oil tanker could have unloaded the oil, but there was nothing but a volcano.
Yeah.
And who attacked him? Vasans, could you describe them? He got attacked, right? Vasans, do you hear us? Looks like some problem. So Sergey, who attacked him and how and for what?
James Bond have been attacked for special helicopters of Japanese people of Spectre Corporation. And, they're very armed and very brave. They have special equipment, and I don't know how James Bond survived from this situation.
He is highly trained, right? Hard trained guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and in addition, James Bond has had special costume, the white T-shirts and white helmet, and I think I have waited the cigar from this.
He had a few cigars later, right? It was important. Yeah. So, and we forget about Ninja Школа, right? Ninja School. We forgot. It happened later. Leila, have you seen Ninja School?
No, I watched the part Sergei told, and what I liked it a lot about this part Sergei talked us, the buttons, rocket, blah blah, missiles, and I loved white parachutes. I thought that they were parachutes, but they weren't. They were bombs. I like that part a lot.
They called it air mines somehow. I don't know why. They said use it only you are above at your target or something. So
yeah.
It was a small I don't know, small parachutes with the mines, with the bombs, something like this. Aerial mines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he landed, and Mr. Tiger, what was the word? Enlisted him to his ninja school. He said, "You are hard trained. You are a good guy, but you need 2 more days in my school to be perfect. Ninja."
And he had a training there.
Yeah, he had. Leila, who is a ninja? Can you describe us? Who is this?
As far as I know, a ninja is a kind of Japanese soldier, maybe, who can just who can manage karate, judo, everything, and they can walk silently. They can kill anybody with one, just a blow. And I like it a lot because I want to do that. And,
I guess
good soldiers, very trained, qualified ones.
Yeah, but I guess they are not soldiers. They are more like assassins. So they don't for like direct confrontations. They to kill you in your back secretly.
Yeah, Lee Rhodes dressed in black, face covered. But the films I watched, because I have never met a ninja in my life, they usually kill the bad people.
I guess they kill anyone if they paid if they paid for this. So it's just a job,
In all the movies I've seen, ninjas were deadly killers killing good guys.
Okay.
Yeah. And in this school, Vasant, if you're back, please unmute and talk to us. We just don't know if you're here. So in this ninja school, in this camp, there was two, I guess, assassination attempts.
Yeah.
Two assassination.
Yeah, assassination.
Two assassinations attempts to James Bond. So first one was when he was sleeping, and there was a how to
thread.
There was a thread to manage a projectile for poison. So it was a to Bond's mouth, but eventually by a lucky or unlucky case, he moved, and poison was delivered to his lady Aki, right? And she died, I guess, right?
Yeah.
She died. Yeah. And another attempt was when during the usual training, during the usual what's the word for this?
We call it sparring. When two fighters fight for practice, we call it sparring exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sparring exercise. So it's during sparring exercise and during sparring fight, Leila, can you imagine Bond killed his opponent? And when he was asked why you did that, why you killed a guy, he said he tried to kill me in serious, like really tried. Yeah.
So it's as bad?
I don't know how we can check this. You know, if I start to kill people.
Well,
No.
the guy had they were fighting with sticks, I think.
Mhm.
And the bad guy, the end of his stick came off and a knife came out, and he tried to stab Bond, and Bond blocked it and killed him somehow. And then I think they pulled off a mask. I can't remember. They knew he was a fake student. He wasn't one of their normal students.
So
Okay.
even though his opponent wasn't supposed to kill or try to kill him, he did. Okay.
He
Yeah,
failed,
okay.
yeah.
Sergey, please.
Yeah, and we forgot about changing James Bond to Japanese men. They put the makeup for looking like Japanese, and they put a wig and they put special things, I don't know, and they removed hair of the body. It's a funny moment, and you will look like a Japanese. But for my side, I'm thinking that he was not looks like Japanese. And,
This rig and this, how we call it, eyelashes. Can we say so?
Just eye shape, yeah.
Eye shape, yeah. They did not made him to look Asian, I guess. He was
Yeah.
still Sean Connery, but with a rig.
Yeah, and in addition, and Tiger offered the new bride for James Bond.
Yeah. He was supposed to marry her, right?
Yeah, a little comedy there. Bond thought, oh, can I marry Aki? You know, pretend to marry Aki because she's beautiful, you know. And Tanaka said, no, you're going to marry a different woman. And Bond said, what does she look like? He said, she looks like a pig.
Yeah. What was the reason for that, Sergey? What do you think?
They want to go to Japanese village where is located the base of Spectre organization, I think.
So eventually they found out this volcano thing, and that's all this like base, all this how we call it, camp located in the volcano, right?
The way they found that was there was a news article that some fishermen in a small village had taken their boat into a cave on the water, and when they came out, they were all dead. So Bond and Aki investigated the cave and found out it had poison gas in it. And they decided somebody wanted to keep people out of that cave. So that's what got them suspicious about this volcano. This cave came out from this volcano. So that's what made them suspicious.
How we call a volcano that never erupts? So it's a dead or sleeping?
We call it dormant, sleeping.
Dormant, okay, dormant, sleeping volcano. So it was a sleeping volcano that never erupts. So, but you will never go to volcano just for a walk, right? So people avoid such places. So it's a good place to put something secret inside. Okay. So I don't remember how it started. So they investigated it somehow. There was James and his fake wife, right? I remember.
Well, I think during at one point, Bond went down the volcano to investigate. And it's the inside the volcano was a lagoon, a green lagoon, like algae, dirty water. And he threw a rock into it, and it hit metal. And he found out the lagoon was fake. It was a metal surface that looked like a lagoon. And that's kind of how they figured out this has got to be the place. Well, then Tanaka put together a task force to invade the volcano.
Yeah, all those ninjas, all those assistants. But Bond was the first one who went there, right? He and there was like a happy coincidence, just because one helicopter went out from this how we call this hole? Just a hole?
It's a lagoon or an opening.
Okay, lagoon, from this lagoon, and Bond with his special devices, I don't know how we call it, tentacles, something that can
Suction cups.
yeah, exactly, yeah, suction cups on his heads and knees, and he got inside with his lady, if I'm right. I don't remember. And we see for the first time this Dr. Evil. I forgot his real name.
Yeah, the criminal, super criminal.
Super criminal with a cat, right?
Blofeld. Yeah, he was called number one.
Number one. Leila, can a cat owner be a bad guy? What do you think?
Me?
No, in general. So a cat owner can be a bad guy. What do you think?
I never judge people like that. Because sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on their personality.
Yeah, I remember how he killed a woman by pressing some button because she failed to kill Bond, and there was we don't know what, some animal, some beast, probably crocodile or somebody in this.
I saw his face, Ivan. His face was so funny because in 1967, I think they weren't that successful, full of plastic,
Well, he was damaged, how we call it, heart by someone.
He had a scarred eye,
Yeah.
Scar on his face.
So he's a veteran of something. We don't know what.
Yeah.
So Sergey, what happened now inside this camp?
James Bond met astronauts and cosmonauts from stolen starships, and they killed some Spectre guards, and they take off the costumes of astronauts, and they went to starships. Between going inside the starships, Dr. Devil saw that James Bond made the fake actions because he put air condition before going, but if I understand correctly, and he has understood that he is a fake astronaut. And before that,
Sergey, let's stop there for a moment. Actually, I did not understood. I did not understand that part as well. So, what was the thing with air conditioning, or what is that? Usually, do you understand?
I think the little case he was carrying was actually a portable air conditioner to keep him cool inside the suit. And before you enter the capsule, you take that off. You don't carry it inside, because inside you're going to hook up to a different, a built-in air conditioner.
I see.
So Bond didn't know that he needed to disconnect that and leave it outside. He tried to carry it inside the capsule. So Blofeld, when he caught him, said, an astronaut knows you don't carry that into the capsule. So he knew that Bond wasn't properly trained, and therefore was a spy.
I see. Okay, Sergey, we cleared that, and so they captured him, right?
And
let me ask you, what evil guys do when they capture a good guy? First thing, what they do? When a bad guy capture a good guy, what they do? What's the first thing they do? Bad guys. They reveal all the secrets, right? They reveal all the secrets. They tell them everything. They show them, this is the button to self-destroy our ship. This is the button to switch off our devil plan.
Bond was observant, okay? He saw the key and where it went, and but you're right. They kind of show, this is how you open the door. Yeah. Yeah.
Sergey, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make a joke. You know, I'm joking about that. Doctor Evil. He told everything to Bond. You know, he instead of just kill him, he just reveal all the secrets. He said, "This is my control monitor. This button is for that. This button is for that." So it was very strange.
To satisfy their ego.
Yeah, that's the reason supposed to be.
I think it's not abnormal because it's a usual moment in the detective movies.
Yeah.
But it's okay, but it's understandable. And I think that now when we watch this movie, think this is a movie because it's an old style movie. But if we have been seeing this movie in 60s of 20th century, we would enjoy this movie, I'm sure.
Well, I enjoyed this movie. Nowadays it was not bad at all.
Yeah.
So okay, let's go on. Let's go to the finish. So they captured Bond, and Ninja started to attack. What else? What happened?
James Bond had the fighting with bodyguard of Dr. Devil, and he stole the keys of control panel, and he put the keys, and he stopped to attack the fake USSR starships to the US starships, and the fake starships was
Blown up. Yeah.
blow up. Yeah, and the US government stopped to send the airplane with the bombs to USSR.
Yeah. Teacher Lee, please.
Okay, a suspenseful moment was when Bond was captured in the control room, and he was watching on the camera, and the ninjas were climbing down into the volcano, and they couldn't open the lagoon doors. And machine guns came out and started shooting all the ninjas. So they're all dying right and left. They're being killed and slaughtered. And Bond can't save them. They can't get the door open. So Bond was given a special cigarette by Q, his equipment supplier. So he used a special cigarette. They let him smoke a cigarette because there's no harm in smoking a cigarette. So so when he lit the cigarette, it shot a little poison dart or something out and killed the guy by the door opening device. So when he killed that guy, he ran over and opened the lagoon doors, and that let the ninjas start getting down inside the volcano. And it was just enough to save the day.
I like it.
Well, it was actually a good scene. I don't know, when I see these ninjas, it's kind of a comedy to me. I don't know why. It looks not real, but the rest was good. except ninjas, I can't believe the whole movie.
Ninjas are like red shirts in Star Trek. They're just there to get killed in large numbers.
Okay, we have a few questions on our Padlet. So what is the antagonist doing with that captured spacecrafts? Leila, what do you think? What they do?
What is that?
They capture, they kidnap this spacecraft. For what?
Maybe their aim is to make the two countries have a fight or a war. I don't know. They capture them so maybe they can start the war. Maybe, yeah. I don't think for ransom, Lee. Do you think so?
Well, why didn't they just kill the astronauts?
Yeah, not clear, yeah.
In fact, why even bring them back to Earth? Just launch your ship and, well, I guess they got to reuse the rocket. But I would have just shot the capsule off into space and they would go forever and die. I don't know. but they brought them back to Earth and kept them captive and alive for some reason. It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so if the real goal is to make USSR to attack US or vice versa, you don't need astronauts. You don't need anything, right?
Right.
I guess it's just to make suspense, you know, not to just to make it really unclear for everyone, you know, for every participant, just to try to hide evidence, maybe, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah. But you're right. They wanted to start World War III. They wanted the U.S. and USSR to launch nuclear missiles, kill each other, and then there's no superpower, and then Spectre comes in and takes over the world somehow. They don't have a big army, so I don't know how they're going to do it.
What I'm thinking is that I have listened to everybody while telling you the film. I think this criminal, this bad guy, wants to take over the whole world.
Yeah.
Right.
That's always Spectre's goal, to take over the world.
What they going to do with this world, Leila? Why they need this power? And don't forget that it will be like after nuclear war world. So no resorts.
You know, there are a lot of conspiracy theories about it. I don't want to talk about these things now, but I'm reading a book. I'm underlining a lot of things. Maybe I will ask you, everybody here, but not online. Okay?
Okay, let's do it offline in our secret club, right?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to joke on protected line, you know, in the secret club.
Oh,
We will discuss conspiracy theory.
I think, did we watch another Bond movie that had the Siamese fighting fish?
We watched Goldfinger, I guess.
Goldfinger, right?
But I don't remember fish there.
One of the Bond movies, Blofeld had a fish tank, and he had what's called a beta. Even though we spell it beta, we call it beta, and they're what we call Siamese fighting fish. And he had a tank with Siamese fighting fish. And normally the Siamese fighting fish, if you put two males together, they will they'll attack and kill each other. They don't like another male. They don't like competition. So normally you keep them in a tank with a glass between them so they're separated. And if they see themselves in a reflection, they'll attack the mirror. So in the movie, in one of the movies, Blofeld takes he has 3 beta. He puts 3 fighting fish in the same tank, and he says, "Watch." And one fish kind of goes away and just watches the other 2, and the other 2 fish attack each other, and one of them's killed, and the other guy's wounded and tired and weak. And then the 3rd fish. So Blofeld explains what happens is the 2 fish fight and kill each other almost, and then the 3rd fish just sits there and waits patiently. Okay. And when the winner survives, he goes in and kills the winner. Yep. So he said that's how Spectre operates. They let the 2 big guys kill each other, and then they just come in and take over.
Well, sounds logical. Yeah, you have to apply less efforts, right, to a guy who partially damaged, to who exhausted because of the war.
Yeah.
Okay, another question, Sergey. Why did they throw James Bond's real body instead of fake body into the ocean? So why they risked James' body life? They could throw just a toy.
But for movie, I think that's for a real situation, because they made the photos of the body. But I don't see the logical explanation of this decision.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we answered all the questions we have, and let's go to the pictures. Some pictures.
I'll add one more comment.
Please.
The one advantage to doing what they did was Bond was put onto a submarine.
Yep, exactly.
And he could leave the country and go to Japan without going through the airport and buying a ticket and being seen in public. So maybe that was a secret way to get him out of the country without normal transportation methods.
Yeah. For me, it looks a bit dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
It's James Bond, right? Nothing is dangerous for him. Okay, I'm going to share my slides. Turun, turun, turun. As always,
Wow, where'd you get that
Wow,
pot?
really?
That's pretty good.
there is everything. We call this design on the top Buran, I guess, Sergey, right?
Yeah.
It was a, in Russia we had an idea. So one plane used to reach space, and then rockets start from the plane, not from the surface. So we call it Buran or something. So we can see Sean Connery here. And what else? You only live twice. Okay, let's start from this one. Okay, let me describe this. So I can see a spacecraft, space shuttle or something on the right.
I think that's called an old Gemini capsule is what we called that.
Gemini? Yeah.
Gemini capsule, yeah.
Okay, on the right with astronauts. One of them is doing something outside the capsule. Yes, attached to this tether line.
Mm-hmm.
And on the left, this devil thing is going to eat him, to eat everything. And somehow the thing is, I forgot exactly. So services on the Earth can see the thing in the space, but not on the Earth, right? So some kind of radar jammering device or something like this.
That's a live radar or?
Yep, radar. Radar is a device, that use magnetic waves, radio waves to locate some metal structure in the space, I guess. Okay, it looked very realistic in the movie. For 67 years, almost impossible realistic, I guess. I don't know how they did it.
And as far as I know, this is the only space hijacking I've ever seen in any movie anywhere.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, UN station, I guess, or something like this. Sergey, could you describe it?
Yeah, there is a meeting between US people and USSR people, and man looks in the official. They wear suits and suits, and it's not USSR, it's UK. It's UK and USA because we look the title.
Okay, yeah, there is a title, UK and USA.
Yeah, and I think on the table they have whiskey because they have special glasses. It's a normal for this time because they have special glass for whiskey, and they have special place for cigarettes.
Yeah, ashtray.
It's a funny time.
good time. Good old times, right? When you can smoke in an airplane or drink whiskey on your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's this special glass for whiskey called, Sergey? Do you know? It's called highball. This form and this highball. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just highball glass. Yeah.
Highball is a cocktail where alcohol is put into a soft drink like Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola with bourbon, we would call it a highball.
I see.
Rum and Coke, a highball. I don't know why.
So, Sergey, how we call these people who are discussing?
There are diplomats and there are spies because on the diplomats mission we can see the spies mission. It's an obvious situation.
Diplomatic mission, I guess, right?
Diplomatic mission.
Okay, let's go on. Okay, Leila, have you seen this scene?
Yeah.
Tell us what is happening.
After they kiss each other, the girl suddenly jump out of the bed, and the bed was closed, and she opened the door, and the soldiers came in, and they shut at the bottom of the bed because they thought that was James Bond, and he was there, but it was fake. Now I know that.
So it was that interrupted massage or something that they referred after.
I think as it was planned, I mean, they don't need any interruption, so it has to be like that. This is what I'm thinking.
Teacher Lee, please.
If you remember back to this scene where they're both in the bed, Bond kind of gives a hint that this is going to happen. He's laying, I think he's propped on his elbow, and he's talking to her, and he says, I'm going to miss our sessions together, or something like that. So when he said, I'm going to miss this, he's kind of hinting that it has to end.
I see. So Leila, how would we describe these decorations? There are a lot of them, right?
I like it. You know, it is an old style furniture, I think. And I like the lamp on the right. And I like the idea of this bed. How could you call it? It's a kind of folding door, something like that, Lee. The bed.
It's got a balanced spring loading, so it's easy to pull up and down.
Yeah, it's such a good idea, you know. And also the chair on the left next to the kind of cupboard, or I'm not sure, dressing room. It is old style and I like it nowadays. These kind of chairs are very fashionable. And the decorations around the wall, yeah, so. I'm not very fan of these things. And a kind of lamp near the bed, I can't see. Yeah, it's a kind of...
Which one? On the left?
On the right, near the lady.
It's kind of
in front of... It's a kind of lamp.
I guess so, yeah. If you look at the ceiling, you'll see a square lamp. That's kind of a Japanese style. They like square lights. I don't know why.
Paper made up paper?
Yeah, it seems like they're usually kind of paper on the outside, yeah. Very delicate, very fragile.
Speaking about this bed, this balanced mechanism, once I heard the word, I don't remember, futon or something like this. It's a mattress that can like transform the wall.
That's a little different. That's a kind of couch that can slide down into a bed.
I see.
That's a futon. This one's more, this is called a folding bed. It folds up into the wall. I think it might be called a Murphy bed. We've got one in our house here. It's a small one, but it actually folds up into a little flat cabinet against the wall. You can pull it down. A guest can sleep in it, and when he leaves, you can fold it back up, and the floor is open.
But there is a kind of gap in the wall, right, Lee?
Yeah, they're usually built into the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you ask me, I like this wooden door the most.
Yeah.
It's a rusty, I know, but somehow this design of I don't know how to call it, windows with planks. It's really medieval.
Yeah, you're right.
Looks out of place to me.
Kind of. Probably it's there must be. You know, Japanese and Asian people, they don't have doors usually. They have like sliding doors, sliding walls.
Yeah.
Probably where is the ladies stay, probably there is a sliding door, I guess, or wall. So it's actually two different like rooms. One outside, one inside, I guess.
It might be.
Ivan, you are very observant, and
Thank
I
you. Thank you very much.
wonderful door, really.
There are many of them in old buildings in Spain, in Italy, I guess, because it's
Yeah,
old
yeah.
design. Yeah.
If you notice on the right side, you got that medieval looking door, and the ceiling, you've got the wooden beams, which is also kind of medieval looking.
Yep.
So it's looks like it's got a medieval entrance way with a Japanese room. It looks kind of strange.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let's go. So funerals. Sergey, find something there. What
There
is-
is a funeral on the ship, and we can see a lot of navies, and we can see the head of navies. They was making the special ceremony, and they put the head on their hand, and we can see two tombs with plants and
flowers, right?
flowers, and we can see the body was covered on the flag of Great Britain, wrapped. Yeah, body is wrapped on the British flag, and we can see some parts of ship, and it's all.
Okay. So what is this real or house? Sorry, in the center we have some kind of strange metal construction, kind of reel or something.
I think we call that a capstan.
To fix to like a holder for rope, right?
Yeah, you can wrap a rope around it and then turn it on, and it'll pull the rope for you.
Okay.
I see. Okay, so
And
what?
on the right, there's a little winch where you can see a lot of thin rope. That's like for pulling something up out of the water. You can attach it to a rope and lower it into the water or pull it up out of the water. So that's a winch used for pulling or towing stuff with a long rope.
Sergey, could you please describe this ceremony, or what was the word? This
Ceremony.
ritual, ceremony in general. So what they did, what was the order?
And before throwing the body on the sea, the head of Navy made the speech about James Bond, and the usual Navy. After that, usual navies start to gun, start to shot from their gun. And after that, 4 navies threw body from the spatial system, and the Navy. I mean, in my knowledge, I don't know. Maybe it's not true. The Navy believed that the ocean takes their helpers who looks Navy. But it's difficult to explain to me. I'm sorry.
Ocean looks after their own. They're ocean humans. The Navy,
Yeah.
The ocean takes care of those that serve on the ocean. Yeah.
I see. So it was a 3-gun salute, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Sometimes they'll shoot like 3 times in the air. Bam, bam, bam. Originally, it was 21 gun salute. They would shoot 21 times.
Wow.
But I think we shortened it to a 3-gun salute a lot of times. So you'll have some guns, and they'll shoot 3 times as some kind of mark of respect.
I see. Yeah.
I don't know why.
But we have the problem with this ceremony. I understand the ceremony of usual soldier, when in the special place they shoot 3 guns, and after that the relatives of dead people have opportunity to go to this place where he was.
Coffin, yeah, to the coffin.
Yeah, to the coffin. But when you throw the body inside the ocean, but you don't have the opportunity to see your place.
I think he had no living family, probably.
Yeah, should be so. He's high secret agent, you know, so no one can kidnap his family and menace UK, you know, government.
And a burial at sea is only for military people, but remember he was a commander in the Navy before. So he's an ex-Navy person. That's why he was granted the honor of a burial at sea. He used to be Navy.
Leila, how do you like the uniform of these officers?
Ivan, you always ask me funny questions today. They look funny.
It must be hot inside, right? Inside submarine.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, American uniforms don't have shorts at all.
No, ours not either, you know.
But the
They look
British,
funny.
British like their shorts and their high socks.
So he permission to come aboard granted. James Bond came here. Okay, there are a lot of pipes and I don't know. I guess I don't know how it's called, but I guess it's a device to launch the torpedoes.
Yeah, we call them torpedo tubes.
Tubes, okay. And this blue thing probably is a transportation thing for new torpedoes.
Those are torpedoes.
Torpedo, right?
Torpedo, okay.
Yep. They're on a rail, so when you open the door to a torpedo tube, a hydraulic device just pushes the torpedo into the tube. And then they close the door and then they can shoot it.
Okay, so it's probably the, let me remember. So the end of the submarine is a stern, right? Stern.
Right, this is the bow. Yeah.
Bow and stern. So it's the bow and torpedoes launch from the bow. Okay.
Normally, yeah.
Normally.
Ivan, torpedoes are bigger than rockets?
I guess it's the same, but underwater.
They're close to the same. Rockets are probably a little bit larger, but torpedoes are this big. They're pretty large.
Okay.
So this is the torpedo room. It might have, you know, say horizontally 3 torpedoes on either side. So 3, 3, and below that 3, 3. So maybe this one's got 12 torpedoes, and it's got 4 torpedo tubes. So at most, they can shoot 4 torpedoes at a time. And then they've got to drain the tube of water. There's an outer door and an inner door. So they close the outer door, drain the water out, open the inner door, get another torpedo up there and push it in, close the door, flood it with water, open the outer door, and now they're ready to shoot again. So it takes time to reload.
Yeah. So you cannot shoot it like from machine gun. It's
Right.
a lot of job, and actually you have a limited amount of torpedoes on a board, right?
Yeah,
So you cannot shoot like 100 times, I guess.
Right. So they would say, you know, torpedo room, shoot tube number 1, shoot tube number 2, you know, or shoot all tubes.
But it is not the same nowadays, right?
No, it's the same. This is a real torpedo room, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's a real submarine. Usually, what do you think?
It looks like it. It looks like I've never been on a British submarine, but our American submarine looked just like this. It had the torpedo tubes, the torpedoes on racks. It looked just like this, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. That's Miss Moneypenny.
Moneypenny. It seems like they have some, you know, not easy relationship between Bond, something like romantic story or something. A lot of innuendos in their speeches. So
they were never romantic, but they like to flirt with each other.
Yeah, flirt is the word. Yeah. Okay, so they nothing too much. Okay, Sergey, tell us what is happening. What is the
There is
strange?
a fight between two sumo fighters, and we can see a lot of people because it's very popular in Japan. And we can see the ring, the square ring with a circle inside the square. And we can see the judge on the spatial suite, red with the blue or with the white circles. And I think that it's not a spatial place for seeing this fighting. I think that maybe it's a theater or this.
Theater.
Yeah, maybe they created. They could create spatial a lot of chairs for seeing the fight. And fighters of sumo wear spatial paints, but I think this is only material and only fabric written above their legs and body.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules. If a foot goes outside the ring, do you lose, or do you have to push the whole body outside the ring to win?
I cannot say. Sergey, what do you think?
I don't.
You are a sport
Yeah, yeah. Before the fighting, they stayed outside the circle. After gong, they start to fight, and they could use only arms. It's all. They can't use the legs. They started to go their arms, and they push each other from a circle.
Yeah, very, very, very strange thing. But you know, I guess that this fight it demands some practice and some skills. Once I've seen a funny story in the Moscow park. There was a lady who is a master of sumo. She looked pretty, not like this, guys. and actually, she asked if someone wants to fight with me, let's try. And there was a guy, huge fat guy, you know, but not trained. And she tried to make a wrestling with this girl, and she beat him very easily. So probably there are some skills, not only your weight, I guess.
Yes, it's a stereotype than the sport for fat people. It's not true. The fat, it's one additional skills who help them push each other. But they have muscles.
They have muscles. They have technique, probably, or something else. Okay, I agree. Yep. Let's skip a few. Which one? I don't know. Okay, let's speak about Tiger. Layla, have you watched this episode?
No, my dear friends. Next time, please choose one from the Netflix.
I can't, Netflix show only, modern comedies, but we are doing, good old movies. Okay, but I can tell you what is happening. Actually, Bond just got captured by some device in the metro, if I'm right. So he just it was a kind of a trap to get Bond there. He slid down, and it's kind of a room where is Tiger, the man from.
He met the criminal.
He is not criminal. He is a head of secret service in Japan.
Okay.
So they have a meeting.
Yeah, Aki somehow suckered Bond into a certain place, and then the floor opened up under him, and he slid down this slide, and wham, landed in this chair. And Tanaka's sitting there saying, "Welcome, Mr. Bond." So A humiliating entrance.
So, Leila, what do you think about this room, about this decoration? It's something you like?
No,
Nothing?
you know, it's a kind of serious looking room, you know, just I didn't like it. I don't want to have a room like that. Everything is metal or leather. Leather is not my preference. And red color, maybe, why not? And there are two round like globes on the left. What are these for? I don't know.
Probably
Sergey.
art.
Sergey, what do you think? What are these spherical things on the left?
I think it's decor.
Yeah.
Decor.
Because it's Japan, I guess it's kind of monitors or kind of, I don't know, something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a place for whiskey.
It's a bar, right? But they don't drink whiskey. Do you remember? They said it's sake in a correct temperature, 90 something degrees by Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Sake, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there is a kind of pillar on
Yeah.
the right, but it is not a real one. I think it is a kind of decoration stuff for lightning.
Mhm.
Yeah. We'd call it a column normally.
Like
Yeah.
column.
Light
It's
column.
pretty gray, I would agree. Pretty minimalistic. But
Yeah.
they have a what's the name of the skin? Hide
We call it a tiger rug,
rug.
Uh-huh.
Tiger
but
rug.
it's a tiger skin. Yeah.
It
the head.
smells, Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have bear rugs and tiger rugs.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so some ladies. Sergey, what is happening on the picture?
There is a spa center for spies, for tiger, and we can see 4 girls who works with James Bond and tigers, and they removed hairs from bodies, and they massaged them, and they washed them. But we can see 2 swim pool with very beautiful design, and we can see specific Japanese wheels, and we can see maybe sakura. I don't know what is a tree.
Mhm. But I guess it's not a spa center or something. It's just a house of Tanaka of Tiger. Do you remember he invited Bond to his house, and he said, "What is the job of this woman?" He said, "Never do anything by yourself. What you can, what others can do. You know, if someone can wash you, don't do that by yourself." Leila, what do you think about this? Is it correct philosophy?
You know what I'm thinking? There are Turkish hammams in here, and the women's and men's parts are different, and the people wash you, and they just make you get rid of the dry skin, and they say it is healthy, but I don't like it. So here I had just read an article 20 years earlier. I'm not sure because I was at university at that time. It was about Japanese ladies wash the guys and massage, and they earn money.
Yep, I guess so.
Yeah, they're employees probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are small like chairs made from wood. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Because
funny.
they are not affected by water.
Okay. And small like circles of wood. I don't know for what. Can't imagine.
I
guess
don't know.
just to sit. I guess to sit on, but at a low level, lower. You know, I don't know.
Okay, even more low. Okay.
So in this scene, James Bond has a lot of chest hair.
Yeah.
So all the girls are fascinated by chest hair because Japanese men have no chest hair. So they all go to James Bond and they're scrubbing his chest hair and looking at it, going, wow. And nobody wants to watch Tanaka, so he has to call a girl over.
Well,
If you
yeah, very funny. Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch movies, I don't know why, but if you watch Hollywood movies, usually the men have no chest hair. I don't know why, but they like to shave all the hair off of a man's chest. Schwarzenegger never has any chest hair. The only chest hair I can remember is James Bond and that stupid Austin Powers guy.
Okay, very funny. Okay, there was this joke that I tried to recall. So, lady was doing massage for Bond, and he was saying, "Wow, wow, wow! The best massage is Gong Hong." And Aki came secretly and continued saying, "Now I will continue," or something.
Yeah.
What I like on this picture, it's this teacher told me, but I forgot how we call it, decoration.
We would call it a folding screen or a
Yeah.
room divider.
Yeah, folding screen with Japanese style painting.
Yeah.
And there we can see this sliding walls, paper walls,
Yeah.
which I also like. I don't know, we never have this we never use such a design everywhere, anywhere in Russia, so it looks fancy, very fancy to me.
No privacy. I mean, you can hear people talk unless you whisper, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's another culture. Japanese, they always quiet. They never make noise, because very, very, very strange thing. I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, it's what is was it? It's a meeting in Osaka Corporation. So they have X-rays to see what Bond has. And do you remember the level of the chairs was different? So the guy was really on the top. I would surprise if someone invited me in their cabinets, and then I was sitting 1 meter above. It was strange. Let's do that. Leila, could you please tell us what is happening on?
I think the helicopter is carrying a kind of car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also I can see the helicopter's, what is that? Propellers.
Mhm.
Yep.
And also I can see wonderful scenery. Just forget the helicopter and the car. I like the mountains, I like the bush, and it is an isolated road, and that's all.
Okay, let's do the last one. Let me choose something dramatic. I would say we have a lot of pictures. So which one? Which one do you like, Sergey? This one?
I like this photo with cases with parts of helicopter.
Okay. This one.
Yeah.
Please tell us how to make a helicopter from this. What is the step one? Step one: connect to pipes.
Step one. I have the instruction. Please.
So it looks like IKEA thing, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the top middle, you'll see that it has what we call spanner wrenches.
Yep. This
Kind
one.
of a C shape. So those are wrenches.
Mm.
Sometimes the other end is actually a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So we call that a box wrench. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Box wrench and spanner.
It's not really a box, but
Mm-hmm.
so it comes with its own tools that you need for assembly. You can see the helicopter wheels, and the rest of it's just aluminum framework, I guess.
Yeah, but I can see propeller and I can see set of wheels and the engine. So it's obviously a helicopter.
Maybe
Yeah,
on the left.
it is enough for you, Ivan.
I don't know what else helicopter has. Propeller, seat, a chair, and cabin. Cabin not important, you know.
Yeah, where are the blades? The blades must have come in a separate a long box. It looks like bullets on the left, large bullets.
Lil, why is there red inside, Lil?
I don't know. Maybe it isn't the gentleman's jewelry.
Yeah, exactly. Toolbox is a gentleman's jewelry.
Yeah.
Toolboxes.
Well,
I
what
agree.
else can I say?
Yes, I agree. No sarcasm. I totally agree.
A good project for Yvonne and the kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
To spend the night.
indeed.
To spend the night on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sergey, are you going to ask us something about this? Anything, you know? So we have spanners, span wrenches. We don't have circle or box wrenches. I don't know. Wheels, pipes. What else?
But for me, it's understandable, but it's not difficult with instruction, I think.
That big black thing on the left might be maybe the rotor motor. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and the engine, rotor motor.
Can't tell. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So before we finish, I'm stopping sharing. Before we finish, tell us a bit what are stereotypes of Japan in your culture? Sergey, what do you think about Japan usually?
I think that they work very hard. I think all time. They have small flats. They like karaoke. They like strange kind of entertainments.
Yep. What else? Robots?
Maybe.
What I remember about Japan that they work the whole life for one corporation usually. So usually you go there to get your first job, and it will be your last job, most likely in this corporation.
Used to, not now.
Not now. Okay. It's just
they call that the iron rice bowl.
Iron rice bowl. Okay.
That meant a job for life.
Okay, and also I know that people in Japan culture used to be very cruel, you know, when it comes to war things or all these swords, they were very cruel.
And one more thing, they never show their sorrow on TV, on media, you know. An earthquake happens, you know, no commands. In Turkey, my country, we are so, you know, sensitive. We cry and cry and cry. I mean, it's sometimes, you know, just exaggeration. I never seen a Japanese person crying and exaggerating or something like that. I don't know.
Good point. Maybe that's the samurai culture.
Yeah, they're very, what's the word for this? Restrained, right? They don't show feeling. Well, I was young. It was not. Boys were not considered to cry at my time, but not now. Now everyone has to cry 3 times a day for no reason, regardless the gender. What else, Tishili? What else about Japan we missed?
Cherry blossoms is the traditional plant and their artwork. They like the cherry blossom trees. The geisha girls is cultural.
I just recalled haiku, a special like poems of Japanese haiku.
Yep, haiku poems I don't like. They're like 17 syllables or something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't rhyme.
Yeah. I'm sitting here watching Fukushima mountain, something like this. And it's always has a strange sense for us, I guess.
Sushi.
Like sushi, exactly, sushi. Leila, do you like sushi?
Never. My son loves it. I don't like it.
Okay.
They have some strange customs. There's a kind of blowfish that's poisonous.
Yeah.
It's got a poison gland inside of it, and it's a delicacy like caviar in the U.S. And the chef, if he is not an expert and he cuts it wrong, that poison bag will burst and people that eat that fish will die.
Thank you.
So, you know,
Oh my God.
and they eat some fish live. They'll take a goldfish and swallow it live. I can't do Japanese food.
I can't either now.
So, Leila, would you go to the Japan for like as a tourist if you can?
No, I don't want to.
Well,
I don't want to because, you know, if I just want to travel somewhere, something has to attract me.
it's a different world, different culture.
Yeah, but first, you know, I just want to see some other countries, maybe Japan when I'm retired.
And Chichili wrote that expensive cost. Exactly. Tokyo was the most expensive town for ages. I don't know how about now. Now maybe it's Moscow.
I think when I was a kid, a steak in Tokyo was like $50. And that was a long time ago, so God knows.
Yeah, I read.
And there's a special kind of meat called Kobe beef. Kobe is a city in Japan. Kobe beef is supposed to be very excellent, tender beef that's very expensive. I've never had it.
We forgot about Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
The only country in the world to have been bombed by a nuclear bomb. Yeah.
Probably it saved a lot of people because of the war was ended by this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. So, you know.
Yeah, it was.
And our president and our military debated for a long time. Should we kill a lot of people now and be kind of cruel and kill civilians too, or do nothing and let the war go on for another 5 years and let millions of people die over 5 years? So it was a tough decision. We decided to end the war now to save greater losses over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
I also
yeah.
When I think about Japan, I also remember Toyota and Japanese cars. They are everywhere, and also I remember that their toilets are very smart. They have like 17 buttons for
very
everything.
Clean, right?
Very smart, Leila. They measure you. They tell your weight or something. They measure temperature. Very complicated device.
If you remember a long time ago when I was a child, you probably weren't born then. But when I was a child, all of our toys were made in Japan, and it was very cheap. They would break easy. So when you said made in Japan, we kind of laughed like it's going to be cheap quality. You're going to use it once or twice. It's going to break. This is because after World War II, their economy was just, you know, we were trying to help them rebuild their economy. So they were making things, but their quality was very low. But as they got more and more experience, by the 1970s, their quality was very high. They're a group culture. They don't believe in individualism like America. So they do everything by team consensus. So they're very harmonious, and they were very good. They weren't very creative, but they could take someone else's idea. They took cameras from America, the Kodak camera, and they made a camera even better. They could take something that another country had, and they could make it 10 times better. So they were very famous for taking something and improving on it. And
can we send them someone? And can they make him better?
Yeah, and Japanese cars used to be lousy, but then they got an American car and they, you know, studied it, and then they engineered it from a team viewpoint and made it more user-friendly. So I remember people were buying Japanese cars because they had better things than American cars. In fact, when I was about 30, we didn't have coffee cup holders in cars yet. And I was thinking to myself, this is stupid. You know, these American cars, they don't, you know, everyone's got drinks in their hand. And they don't even, and the Japanese were the first people to invent a coffee cup holder in a car. And it was like, wow, what a great idea. And then American cars had to say, okay, we got to do that too, But
So
the Japanese are very innovative.
So do Russian cars has a holder for cups?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know.
You drive in cars, how can you not know?
I have a Japanese car, no, not Russian.
Oh, okay.
Okay, during my life, made in Japan was about like high quality, but I'm younger, that's why.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, and I missed some speech of teacher Lee about Japan, but I know that after Second War II, American guru of manager, Edward Deming, went to the Japan for creating new industrial, and they share their ideas, and the Japanese citizen very fast build the new industry.
Yeah. It was a Marshall Plan for Germany, and it was another plan for
Eisenhower, I think, the plan for Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to say that Germany and Japan, I've got to admit that we succeeded in helping rebuild those nations.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the only good thing I can think we really did for the world,
It's
Japan came back to be like, at one time, they were the #1 economic power of the world. And we would buy everything from Japan. So we used to make fun of the situation because we would say that we sent them bullets and then they sent our bullets back in the form of cars and cameras. And so it was like they took all our money from us, so they kind of defeated us economically with the bullets that we sent them during the war.
Okay, very nice. I see that we have a kind of similar stereotypes of of Japan. So let's call it a day. Nice movie, nice discussions. Thank you very much. See you next week.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.